What's up, everybody? John Eric Poli here with My MMA News, and today's guest is extra excited for this holiday season. It is her first Christmas as a mother. Pleased today to be joined by Julia Avila and her daughters with us as well. Please welcome in as well, Eris. Eris, nice to see you there. So you're sleeping next to mommy there. Nice to see you got settled down. We were a little late getting on today. Eris was screaming before there. So anyway, without any further ado, glad to be here with you, Julia. Thanks for doing this. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you. I love being here and I'm really excited to be out in the world again.
So let's start with everything here. A lot going on for you. Of course, you were looking to have a big end to the year last year. You get hurt, tear your ACL. Then, as you're recovering, pregnancy happens. And now here we are, October. Your daughter is born. Congratulations. Just what's this last really calendar year been like for you? A lot's going on. I'm sure a lot of excitement, obviously. Just how's motherhood been?
Motherhood has been absolutely amazing. And it's been a really wild year. It was a year ago today, this very day, a year ago, I was getting my ACL and my meniscus reconstructed. And I knew it was going to be at least a year out, right? So after my surgery, I looked at my husband and I'm like, hey, well, do you want to try for a kid? I'm 34 years old. I'm not getting any younger. We've put off starting a family because, but I always had my career. I always had a fight lined up or something was happening. So, God had a plan and I just listened. And so we tried. And then a month later, I got pregnant. So Eris was born October 20th. And it's been amazing and wonderful ever since.
I bet. I know it's the greatest gift anyone could have. I can tell that you really enjoy it. The big question that everybody asks a parent is, how's the sleep schedule? Now, you told me off air that Eris sleeps very good, but sleep hasn't been too kind to you these days, huh?
No, I still have to wake up and, do things for her and for my husband. And I just don't sleep very well anyways. So, I mean, 4 to 5 hours of sleep is typically what I get. And that's typically what I'm getting now. So it's been hard, but it's worth it.
I'm saying just life in general now, right? Kind of obviously a major adjustment. What are kind of some of the joys now of being a mother and taking on this new role? And maybe what are some of the things that are maybe a little bit difficult that you didn't anticipate?
Well, so the joys are just seeing her smile and just watching her grow up and teaching her. That's so wonderful. She's pretty cool. The hardships. Oh my gosh. I changed my first diaper when I got discharged. um, so that's been an experience. I've been pooped on recently, but it's just so wonderful. The other day I was doing a spin class and she was right next to me watching me and learning from me, and then she was kicking her little legs. In my head she was doing her own version of a spin class. um, but I know she was just having fun. um, I knew it was going to be difficult. I didn't think it was going to be as emotionally draining as it is. you know um, More of like being comfortable with my body and this weight that I have to lose. I've lost weight before. I'm a fighter. I know how to diet and cut. But it's just different with the hormones and, having to breastfeed and everything.
Yeah, I was saying that kind of throws the training schedule off too a little bit with all that. We're going to get into that in a little bit. I do want to ask another question about adjustments and everything. I know you have a few pets. I believe I did see on Instagram, I believe one of your dogs passed. I'm awfully sorry, but I know you have a few other pets as well, if I'm not mistaken. Just what's that kind of adjustment been like too? Because I know it's a big thing for the animals too when a new baby comes in.
So actually, yeah, my dog Rebel, he passed away one night after we got home from the hospital. So I'd like to think that he waited to meet her. Um, yeah, he was 9 years old and it was very sudden. It was really, really traumatic too. There was blood everywhere. and yeah, we didn't know what had happened. So there was a lot of emotion there because I didn't know. I felt guilty being happy with my daughter, but then I had to let my fur baby go. Um, but he got to meet her. Rebel got to meet her, and he was happy. Then we have Pi. She she is terrified of children, but she's very interested about Eris, and I think it's because she's ours, right? So she has our scent. But she's right here sleeping next to us. She's, just a big lump. But yeah, it's going pretty good. I'm really excited. I have my complete little family.
I say, and speaking of family, I have to ask you about this big event. If I'm not mistaken, it was the first time, right, that your mother got to meet her granddaughter, if I'm not mistaken, right? Did I see that correctly online? That had to be
Yeah,
such an amazing moment to experience.
Abuelita, it was her first time meeting Eris. My mother, oh my gosh, she went from zero grandkids to two this year. My brother and his husband had their son via surrogate in August. And so she was really, really excited about that. And then 2 months later, here comes Eris. So she has her grandson and her granddaughter, and she's already asking for more.
I bet I would say that my mom always says, because my sister has two kids, that there's like nothing like being a grandparent. So I'm sure the pressure is going to be on for the rest of your life here to keep popping out babies there. Let's talk this time of the year, though. Christmas, special time of the year for anyone, especially for a first time mom. Just how's the Christmas shopping going, and how excited are you for just the holiday season to be able to experience this first Christmas with the new baby here and the family all together?
It's so wonderful for so many reasons. We grew up not very well off, so we never really had a Christmas. And so I'm able to, spoil the heck out of my daughter. And she's not going to remember any of it, but I will. And I'll take a lot of photos. Like I remember always wanting to do a photo on Santa's lap, and we never got a chance to do it. So I took her, spoiled her. We took like 1,000 photos, and that's been pretty good.
All right, so now let's get into you and your career here a little bit, and we'll obviously tie this back in here with baby Eris here in a little bit. Obviously, right now, technically, you're really not medically cleared. I think you told me off air at the beginning of January is the date there. So once you get medically cleared, have you given a thought as to what the comeback looks like after having the baby and coming off the ACL and meniscus injury?
I would love to fight next week, right? But I can't, not responsibly. Um, with everything going on, and because I had to have an emergency C-section, my medical clearance has been pushed back a little bit more. Um, Ideally, I would have loved to have fought, end of winter, early spring, but now it's looking more like end of spring, start of summer.
So one of the things that will make the comeback interesting too, and this is something that we were talking a little bit off air about. Obviously, whenever a woman has a baby, a lot of things happen with the body, and you mentioned before with the hormones and everything. And I've interviewed fighters in the past where they've said, like, due to having the baby and the hormones, that they couldn't make their natural weight class. Now, you told me the plan is to come back at 135 pounds. Featherweight is not in the question. So whatever you have to do to come back within the reasonable time for 135 is indeed kind of the long term thing here. When you do come back, it will indeed be at bantamweight, correct?
Yes, I want to fight at bantamweight. I think I am competitive at bantam. My frame is built for bantamweight. I know how to diet. I know how to exercise. Yes, I am getting older, and it's going to be a little harder, and with all the hormones. But I mean, really, the only thing that you're going to see that the fan is going to see is my boobs are going to be bigger. Other than that, I I'm still the same me. I'm still gonna, fight for Bantam as long as I possibly can.
And when women have babies too, I know each person kind of is different with the comeback. I know like Mackenzie Dern, I think, what did she come back in, like 4 months or something crazy like that? And that was such an incredible thing. I've interviewed Miranda Granger in the past, and she took a whole calendar year after the baby was born, or just about a year, just to kind of get her body back. She even like test weight cuts down and everything there. I know you're still working through getting cleared and everything, but just, how do you expect like these workouts to be when you first get cleared and you're getting back in the gym? I'm sure that's going to be a big test too, as to kind of where the timeline lines up with everything.
Yes, it is going to be a huge test, but I mean, I I was teaching a kickboxing class the week of delivery. I did yoga the week of deliver or the day that I delivered. I was strength training all throughout my pregnancy. So the movements aren't foreign to me. It's not like I stopped completely. I was still doing jujitsu. I have, photos of me with a big old belly, breaking someone's guard and cutting through, all within reason and all within the limits of my knee and my belly. But I'm still training. I'm still doing things so it's not going to be a huge shock to me. The only shock to me is the extra weight that I'm carrying right now. So, I just have to strength train, in order to strengthen the ligaments and the muscles around my knee before I can start doing anything hardcore like pivoting and, taking people down.
Okay, so I'm glad that you brought this up about you working out while you were pregnant, because I wanted to ask you about this because it's funny. So my other job that I have, I work bartending at a casino here in Pennsylvania, and all of the beverage servers are female. And I think within the last maybe year or two, I want to say it was six, maybe more, but I've got to experience women working through about six different women working through pregnancies, and I've determined there's two different types of pregnant women. One that sit in the chair, that they're tired and their feet hurt all day and they really don't want to work or they really can't work, or then the other ones that just grind right up until the time the baby's born. And God bless some of those servers too that I work with, carrying out the full trays of drinks. There they are with their big belly and everything. So it really is incredible to, see somebody work through the pregnancy like that. What was that like for you? Was there any difficult like to working when you had the big belly and everything, or did it not like did you not mind it at all?
I didn't really mind it. I know she didn't mind it. She loved it. She only kicked when I was sitting down. Um, but you know, I did swell. My feet swelled so big. I was literally spilling out of my shoes. I had to buy extra specialty shoes for people with bigger feet and swollen ankles, so I can go to work. It was so embarrassing. So I'm glad I have ankles now. Uh, but it wasn't really an issue for me. I love working. I love moving. I love working out. So if I had to sit down, it's the worst thing in the world. With my C-section recovery, I had to sit down, right? I couldn't do anything. And it was the worst. I hated every second of not being able to do something. I'm like, I can switch out laundry. They said, no, no, you can't. You're going to bust a stitch or something.
I was gonna say sitting down for you had to be difficult too, because I think the first time we ever did an interview, we talked about you working as a geologist. You talked about the Peloton bike and how much you would ride on that, with being a pretty much a full time professional athlete. So I'm sure sitting down was definitely new territory for you there. Speaking of new territories, obviously when you get back into the gym, do you plan on letting the baby come around and having her kind of crawl all over and see what it's like being in the gym?
Absolutely. So I was doing sled drags the other day and she was getting fussy. So I harnessed her to my front and I had the sled on the back pulling 90 pounds just back and forth. I'm like, all right, well, this is fine. She loves the gym. Her carrier actually has a little baby speed bag on it.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, I mean, she has to be a gym rat, only because of proximity. So hopefully she likes it. But if not, I don't know. We'll figure something out.
Now, I'm sure this is a question you probably get asked all the time, and I'm sure maybe might even get annoying at times, because obviously you want your kid, whenever they grow up, to be whatever they aspire to be. But you always get the question, do you plan on letting your daughter fight? So do you plan on letting that at least, yeah, test the waters? Will she at least be in the gym learning jujitsu and all different techniques, at least to defend herself?
So yes, we want her to at least be. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
We want her to at least There we go. Sorry, I had a call coming
No, you're
through.
good.
We want her to at least be able to defend herself, at the very, very least. And if she likes it, then for sure, we're gonna help her on her journey in jujitsu. I definitely don't want to be her coach. I know I say that now, but we'll see. Um, but whatever she's interested in, she already puts her fists up and is ready to throw hands whenever she doesn't have her milk ready. So I think she might be a little athlete, but we'll see. Um, I'm not going to push her. But again, just because of proximity, I think she'll fall in love with something.
All right, so I got one last question for you. Involves the UFC return. I know every fighter is different. A lot of fighters do like their kids and their family to be around during fight week. Other fighters, obviously, it's a stressful time. They might have their family come down, but they really don't see them too much. Are you planning on having your daughter, as long as you're fighting, in the mix, around, seeing everything at media days, front row of the arena, the whole nine yards?
Absolutely. I don't want to hide anything from her, and that's why I knew that I was going to start a family at some point in my life. And so I tried to put myself out there ever since, I've been kind of a public figure or an athlete. I've tried to put myself out there where I wouldn't have to hide anything from my daughter or my child. And so I want her to be there with me. I want her to experience everything. I want her to um, decide on her own whether it's something that she's interested in, that she wants to do, right? So there's no better way than to expose her to it from the get-go. So yeah, she's gonna be out there. She's gonna be my little hype girl, and she'll probably give me my mouth guard or something. I don't know.
All right, Julie, appreciate all the time. It was great chatting with you, and it was great seeing baby Eris here. Last thing before you roll out, social media, management, sponsors, anything that you got to give shout outs to. Floor is yours. Take it away.
Happy holidays, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. You can catch me on social media platforms under Raging Panda MMA. Um, Catch me on fight nights where I tweet a lot on the UFC page. So, you can catch some of that. Um, my sponsors, I would love to thank Inverted Gear, Starting Strength, Sanibel, for their constant belief and support. And for my manager, Mikhail, over at Team
TKO.
TKO. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking trigger. Team TKO, he's amazing and he always helps me out, keeps me in line. So thank you, Mikhail. Yeah, that's it.
All right, Julia and Eris, thank you guys so much for the time today. Merry Christmas to both of you. I'm sure it's going to be an exciting holiday down there. So, yeah, guys, thanks again for the time. And to all the viewers out there, I just want to thank you guys for your time as well. Really appreciate it. If you like today's interview, please go to the bottom. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Keep going to MyMMANews.com, checking out all of our great work. We have great content that comes out literally every single day of the week. And also, make sure you guys go to our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Make sure to go on there, give us a like and a follow on there as well. We'll see you later, everybody.